Welcome, it's the Olympics and we're almost there. The tournament's about to start.
We are there.
We are there already, in fact. We're there already, and me, I'm very excited. Of course, we've talked about other sports, but we know the one sport that we always want to talk about, and that's football. Where were you in Atlanta? During won the
1996.
Where were you?
I was already making waves.
Making waves where?
I was making waves. That's what you need to know.
Yeah, so Atlanta 96 is probably the biggest moment in Nigerian football history. Do you think that?
It is. What else tops that?
Right, a global tournament
against all odds,
coming back every time.
The story was beautiful. If you listen or you watch interviews like for players after the tournament, Taribo West said they were sleeping 2 on the bed. Their hotels were $10 per room. So the story was beautiful. Everything was perfect.
And I mean, coming back against Brazil and with Ronaldo, Bebeto,
it was brilliant.
Don't cry.
Those were the good old days. But let's switch back to the present now.
So, what are your expectations for the football?
I think what makes Olympic football exciting is the fact that there's an unpredictable cloud around it. You know, when we are going into the World Cup or Copa America or Champions League, we know these are the heavyweights. But based on the fact that it is under 23 for men, it's actually quite difficult because some players that played the last one, by the next one, they might not be in that, they might not fall in that age bracket again. It might be a new set of people. So there's
plus you're not supposed to play Olympics more than once. Ronaldo played it twice.
Don't say that to some players anyway.
Especially if you have won it.
Yeah, but what do you think about? I don't know. This is something where people are like they've bashed, the community around it. The fact that Olympics for men is under 23.
And for women,
but for women, it is the normal full-blown senior squad. What do you think about that?
I think it's understandable, possibly because of the fact that most clubs on the male side will not release their players for the Olympics. Like, more often than not, they don't. Even like now, Kefren Turam was supposed to be at this tournament, but as soon as they signed for Juventus, they said no. Remember the dispute over Neymar going?
Neymar as well, yeah.
Real Madrid said Mbappe is not going anywhere. They just signed him and they said nah, it's not going to any, especially because he had played, at the Euros and he needs to recover and everything. So I think that's probably like the biggest reason. For on the female side, the top players, everybody will go to the Olympics. They don't really like stop them. But on the male side, clubs don't want their players to play at the Olympics because of the schedule and everything. And you know how male football is, I think their schedules are just a bit different and they don't want to take chances. And in fact, the fact that they are playing so many games on the male side is also a factor. So the Olympics is not also seen as like that, that big. It's not like the World Cup and everything.
And to buttress what he has just said to our viewers out there, the actual reason why the men's tournament is under 23 is because FIFA did not want to interfere with the integrity of the World Cup. The World Cup is seen as the holy grail competition. So if they make the same players play Olympics, then there's really no integrity again, because it just seems like another World Cup but in another name. But for women, because they wanted to promote women's football more, so they want all the top names to always be at the women's tournament. So there you go. I think that's a justifiable reason if you ask me. I don't think, and I think the under 23 also need a chance to show themselves at global level.
It's an opportunity for them to really play and represent their countries.
Exactly.
And do so.
But let's talk about the elephant in the room. You mentioned Atlanta 96. You mentioned that great time. Right now, it's not so great anymore. Nigeria will now be missing at the men's Olympics for the second time in succession.
Something needs to change.
Salisu Yusuf, do you think he needs to go?
Of course. If you can't deliver, you have KPIs when you are in the job. If you can't deliver, then what are you doing there? I think that it's a big shame that, because this used to be our one thing we were looking forward to. You understand? 2008, I remember that got to the final.
Woke up in the morning
to watch until Di Maria broke our hearts. Remember the set of 2000.
Miguel Obi won the silver ball, right?
of the
So, yeah, it was the second.
No, it wasn't in 2008 though. He didn't play 2008. That's why he played 2016. Yeah, it wasn't in 2008.
Which one was the one where
he won silver, but it was 2006 under World Youth Championships.
Yes.
But he was supposed to be in that team in 2008, but he got an injury and he didn't get to play. But then he came in 2016 and we got bronze. So even in 2016 we got bronze. In 2008 we got silver, and 96 we won. So like we have some history in this competition.
Actually, we are only one of two African sides to have ever won the Olympics. Nigeria and Cameroon in 2000.
Yeah,
those are the only two times. So, but like this failure for the men's side, what do you think? I don't know. What do you think needs to be done? Like you said, this was our sure banker. Like going into the Olympics, we are all looking forward to. You know that I thought these guys were guaranteed of bronze or something. But now we are not even qualifying. Guinea, we could not beat Guinea in 2 legs in the qualifiers.
Man, if we look at all these things, it just tells us a lot about how football in Nigeria has fallen, how fight has fallen. Because this used to be a no-brainer for us.
No-brainer.
Like,
we don't even
go to
think
Olympics
about it
and all that. But also, if you look at our team in '96, a strong core of that team were already in the Super Eagles. You know, because we're building a team that was young, but also like full of quality and all of that. So you could see the progression and everything. And then both of them were at 98 World Cup and all that. Even Cameroon's team of 2000 also there was a call from like the national team and all that. So perhaps that's a pointer to us that, you know, how many of the players in the under 23 would be in Super Eagles or would be able to be integrated there? You know, what is the selection criteria for these players? How do they pick these players, and what's the progression after that? So most of the time when we try to go for these tournaments, we are always looking at, we just want to win now, and then there's no progression. We're supposed to be seeing players go from under 17 to under 20, under 23. The team in the 2008 Olympics were the core of the 2006 team from the World Youth Championships, missing just Mikel, but you had all those other guys there, and that's why you could see, like under CRCI, you could see, you know, the progression of that team. So I think that's a big thing that we need to look at. How are we selecting these players? What's the progression like?
And I feel like now it's just all about the biggest players in Europe are the ones that will call to the Super Eagles. Then the rest to just go away. But anyways, where there's bad news, there's also some good news. And the good news is that after a 16-year absence, the Super Falcons will be back at the Olympics. You know, the men will not be there, but we have the women to give us a shot at gold. Realistically, I'm excited, but I'm not excited when I think about their group. But I think we'll talk about their group in depth in another video. But I think we should be excited at the fact that first of all they are back at the Olympics, you know, and let's see what they can do. Are you positive about them?
About the Super Falcons?
Yeah, or mixed feelings?
The preparations are always my issue. If the preparations are not good, what are we really expecting? Especially looking at the kind of teams that we're going to be up against, it's going to be hard. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up and then get it dashed. So yeah.
Okay, so let's go down to the in-depth formation of the day. So when people want to place bets on Olympics football, what are the tips they should look out for? Because this is quite different from normal club football and whatever, especially because there are different formats for men and for women. So what are the tips that our viewers out there should have in mind when it comes to Olympics football?
Well, like we said before, first of all, they are under 23 players. So it's not just about the country now. Don't just say because it's this country.
Because Argentina, they are balling.
Just because of that. Do you know the players there that they're carrying? It's under 23 players. You have to remember that before placing a bet.
Players.
So I can understand if you are going for a France, right? But that would be because you have seen the team that France is carrying, and you know that France are carrying a lot of talents, and then they have Lacazette, Oli said, doing a lot in the friendlies, and they're coached by Thierry Henry. So you know that, okay, and they're the hosts as well. So you can expect something, but you need to still do your research. You look at Brazil. We know how Brazil's football has fallen off. So even though they won the last two, you can look at the team now and say, are they really a team that can better?
Even their main team are also struggling as well. Yeah.
Then also another thing you do is check out the overage players, because we know that every team has three overage players. So it depends on
the caliber of the overage players.
If Argentina should carry Messi. Of course, if France were carrying Mbappe and Mbappe wanted to be there, obviously no brainer, you just be like, yeah, this French team, I can't bet against them. Remember when Brazil had Neymar, but it wasn't even on their age at the time, was it?
Even when Neymar was on their age, it was not on their age.
It was not, you understand? So it's a lot. So just looking at all those things, like who are the overage players that they're carrying? And also you look at the way the team is structured, the composition of the team, how are they structured, and what are the things to look out for, in the team? What kind of tactics will they play? What's the coach thinking about? You just need to do research, basically. You understand? So basically, the three are: number one, you know that they're under 23 players, so you keep that in mind and research on the players themselves. Number two is overage players that they have, and number three, just the general composition of the team, to know what works and what is likely to happen, to be able to predict. You need to be able to make a more informed decision, basically.
That makes sense. So Cerebroné has given you tactical decisions to consider when it comes to Olympics football betting, but me, I'll give you like stuff to look out for in terms of bookmakers. And the first one is to always shop for odds. Compared to when Real Madrid are playing maybe Girona or whatever, when it comes to Olympics, the odds are usually almost right. Usually almost right, because there is a massive gulf in quality between one team and one team. So if you are saying don't expect magic like Doctor Strange and be thinking there will be an upset. If you are not sure about what the odds are saying, you can go for the goal market, you can go for the handicap market, you can go for corner kicks and whatever. But most of the times, if you are going for straight wins market, the odds are usually, not all the time, like you said, do your research to make your final decision, but most of the time the odds are usually always right. And number two, just like we've said, because the men's event and the women's event have different rules, you should take that into consideration. For the men's tournament, don't say because Argentina are like a current powerhouse in world football, that's what you would expect in the Olympics as well. It is not the same.
It's not the same.
But for women's football, treat it like you would treat the World Cup.
Yes.
Because everybody will bring their biggest players on display.
And everybody wants to win. It's actually very prestigious to win the Olympics
because
in the female
side of things. So everybody on the female side of things will play like they would play if it was the World Cup. There's literally no difference except the name of the tournament. So if you are seeing powerhouses like Brazil, Spain, US and whatever, don't
back them
because those are the powerhouses. And of course, like we always say, watch out for live betting, spot those advantages and loopholes that you can take advantage of, especially when you are watching a game and maybe a favorite was supposed to win, but this underdog are just showing that we are not going to be pushovers. They are doing something nice, or you think this underdog can get a goal in this game, you back the underdog to score and stuff like that. So if you follow these tips from Cerebroné and myself, you would be able to make a better informed decision
like we've said about live betting in the past. Make sure you are watching the match as much as possible, because that helps you to make an informed decision.
If you can
see the trends that
watch the match, follow the trends, see how the game is progressing, and make your decision based on that. So if you follow these tips from myself and him, you'll be in a better place to make more informed bets on Olympics football. We'll be here to give you all the analysis on the Super Falcons representing Nigeria at the Olympics, and we'll be looking to see how they progress. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and give us your thoughts in the comment section below. Who will win the men's and the women's Olympics? Let's hear your comments below. And that's all we have for you in this video until we come your way next time. Stay cool.
Ciao.